Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, May 11th. Happy Mother's Day. Karen Spilka leads the Massachusetts State Senate, and now she is here to answer our questions. It's time to go on the record.
From WCVB Channel 5, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill. Today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Hello and welcome to OTR, everyone. I'm Ed Hardy.
And I'm Ben Simino in for Charmin Sacchetti. Joining us today, Massachusetts Senate President Karen Spilka. She's a Democrat representing the 2nd Middlesex and Norfolk District. The state senator has led the chamber since 2018, and she's from Ashland. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's start with ICE operating here in Massachusetts. Video from last week in Worcester shows a chaotic scene on Eureka Street there. Police say people surrounded ICE agents who were detaining a woman. Of course, almost everybody has seen this next piece of video. It's video of Ramesa Ozturk being detained, basically being taken off a street in Somerville. That has caught nationwide headlines. The legal process is playing out in her case. She's been detained for months now, based apparently on an op-ed. The federal government hasn't offered any other evidence that she, quote unquote, supports Hamas. And then, of course, last week, immigration officers also detained a man at a Framingham station.
Exactly.
His close loved ones say they were looking for somebody else, but they took him anyway. What's your message to people in Massachusetts who think this is pretty frightening?
This is very frightening. This is outrageous. This is almost bringing us back to the 1930s in Europe, where people were snatched off the streets without any due process, without any rule of law. You know, over and over again, we've said, if these are real criminals, fine. The state, we're willing to help them. If there's a criminal warrant out for these folks, then show the criminal warrant. Tell us what's going on. But just to snatch the person that you're referring to from Framingham, they showed him a picture and said, this is who we're looking for. They acknowledged that he was not that person, but they took him anyway. So this is outrageous, and we took to the Senate chamber floor last Monday to denounce this. This needs to be known. He is trying to bring us back.
Who's he? I'm
sorry, President Trump is trying to bring us back. Again, we are a country where we have a rule of law, not rule of a king or rule of a president, and we need to follow the law, and Congress needs to stand up and do some immigration reform.
Well, and we just showed you the Worcester video, and in Worcester you can see how it's now escalated, my word, escalated. Suddenly this happens in Worcester, this happens in the street in Worcester, and then 25, 30 other people start to encircle a police car, involving it.
It's
so
dangerous.
It has mushroomed, right?
And it's dangerous. He talks about public safety. This is, once again, it's like everything else. He wants to make America great, supposedly, and what he is doing is the exact opposite of that, whether it be immigration, whether it be tariffs, whether it be cutting NIH and research funding, attacking universities, attacking diversity. I don't know how he thinks any of this makes America great. He should come to Massachusetts, and I invite him to come because we do it right here. We celebrate our education, our research, our universities, our diversity. We do it right here, and it would be great for him to see how we are thriving.
So can the state, should the Attorney General be doing more to say this is not acceptable and it's not constitutional?
Oh, our Attorney General is doing a great job, and we have the Senate has innovated a Response 2025, which I hope you have heard of. This is in response to Trump's actions, not only with immigration, but with everything else. And there's a series of actions and bills that we filed in response. One of that is to fund the Attorney General at a level. She has multiple lawsuits. She's either on her own or joining with other attorneys general. That we need to fight back because Congress is ceding all of their power, and attorney generals across the country are the ones sort of holding up the rule of law. But even if they win in court, Trump isn't following it half the time. So that's why we need Congress. But our Senate response initiative has not only funded the Attorney General, we filed a SHIELD law so that we are better protecting women seeking health care and gender care. And we met with the Canadian Consul General to hear about what the tariffs are doing. That's what prompted our idea of looking at ways to get rid of the sales tax on construction costs,
right.
Because most of our steel, lumber, and other construction items come from Canada, and those tariffs are making developers, housing advocates, while we are trying to produce more housing. That's our number one issue. We need it. they're increasing the costs. So if we can get rid of the sales tax, 6.25%.
How likely is that, though? Eliminating the sales tax. How
On
likely is that?
certain construction items, we'll work towards it.
Yeah.
Then it'll negate the tariffs,
Right.
and then the developers that are on the fence about building housing, hopefully they'll say yes. Instead of pausing and not building, they'll go forward. We need housing. It's the most urgent issue, I believe.
We're talking about money. It is budget season, and as you know, with federal funding uncertain, lawmakers are looking at every penny, where they can save pennies and move pennies over here. So you are promising no sweeping tax hikes, right? Is that fair to say?
No tax hikes at all.
At all.
As a former Senate chair of Ways and Means, I know how important it is for saving and responsible spending, and that starts with, right now, no new taxes. One of our major focus has been and will continue to be to lower costs and making Massachusetts even more affordable for our residents.
But obviously, this is what is your budget chief has described this as the most challenging budget that he's done in 6 years. I mean,
right?
it really is.
You know, the cycle has gone up and down. When I was chair of Ways and Means, we had to cut the budget $1 billion in 2015 and 2016 because our revenues tanked. We are basing our revenues for this budget the same amount that the governor did in January, the House did in April. We are being cautious, though, with our spending because of the potential in all of the federal cuts, which could be billions of dollars. But we don't know yet because he changes it not only every week or day, but every hour. But we have to produce a budget. So we'll go forward with responsible budgeting, protecting our vulnerable residents, no new taxes, regional equity, and boosting.
To do all that, would you have
districts.
to dip into the rainy day fund?
Nope.
No.
Nope,
Flat
at this
out
point
no.
we will not.
So-
Since I've been Ways and Means and Senate President, we have not dipped into the rainy day fund.
Will you add to it this year?
Yes.
So the state House Speaker has faced criticism for a $25 million earmark. It's a parking garage in his district. This comes at a time when a lot of other cities and towns are facing tough financial decisions, maybe have to go to overrides for proposition, the 2.5 property tax cap. Should earmarks be part of the budget process?
Well, a lot of the earmarks, representatives know their districts really well, and earmarks help our school districts to fill certain specific gaps in services, social and emotional learning, or things that are important to the district, or for the fair share in particular is only for, the funding is only for public education, public transportation.
That's the millionaire's tax.
Yes, the millionaire's tax.
But most people know it as.
And honestly, thank God we have it. I know a lot of people, well, evidently enough people voted, the majority voted for it, and it passed. That has given us $1.4 billion to allocate to public transportation because it's excess of what we spend. And that has really helped our schools, our special needs, our school meals, increase and continue free community college, early education and care, so many areas that we would not have had the funding to do, but really lead the nation in education and fill the gaps in the transportation area as well.
The Senate budget is what, $61.3 billion,
Correct.
right? Okay,
Correct.
so and the budget allots the MBTA hundreds of millions less than what the governor or the House actually wanted in an effort to keep raising fares or cutting service. In the meantime, the T is running through its reserve funds, could face a $700 million deficit in the coming year. Ridership is still down. Is the Senate doing enough, or can enough be done to stem that tide?
Yes, I believe the Senate is doing enough. We've met with the T officials. We met with other advocates and other folks with transportation. The Senate is committing $820 million to the T for next year's operating costs. If you think about it, that's on top of the $1.4 billion from the sales tax. 2022, in addition to the sales tax, the legislature gave the T $127 million.
So substantially more.
So this is an enormous increase.
Are we getting our return on the investment?
I think so. I hope so. And I think, the T is making some changes. In addition, we invest in special programs, low-income fare adjustments, the MBTA Academy, better water transportation. But we also, the Senate feels really strongly about regional equity. That millionaire's tax was was voted on by people across the state, and people across the state should get the benefit of the money from the millionaires tax. So not only do we invest $820 million in the T to cover, and that will cover the 26 operating costs, but we also invest $214 million in the other 14 RTAs across our state that
regional
transit authorities that people rely upon to go to work, to get their kids to school, to go to doctor's visits, and invests in all areas. We also invest $190 million in roads, bridges, culverts, and other microtransit. So we invest in all areas across the state because that's where the funding should go to.
All right, back to Washington. Congress, the Republicans in Congress appear to be considering perhaps substantial cuts to Medicaid. We have a thriving Medicaid system here in Massachusetts, Mass Health, it's known as. What's the plan for Massachusetts if Congress slashes the Medicaid budget?
Well, it's not only Massachusetts as a blue state that would be hurt. There'd be a lot of pain, actually. We get between 12 and maybe 13, 14 billion dollars out of our $61 billion budget from Medicaid reimbursement. We've taken advantage. We have one of the highest insured, healthiest residents across the nation. I am hoping that Congress comes to its senses. They are beginning, even the Republicans are beginning to hear from their constituents. They don't want the cuts. They will lose their health insurance. There are a lot of people in the red states that are hurting from Medicaid cuts, possibly education. Veterans, who ever thought we would be cutting back and hurting veterans, people who served our country to protect us and fight for our freedom? I have a resident who, 4-term tour of duty in Afghanistan, got a job for the VA when he came back. He was fired for, quote, poor performance, because that's the only way they could fire all the thousands of people they've fired. So not only has he lost his job, but he's having a hard time accessing his benefits because nobody's there to service the veterans. This is outrageous. It's unacceptable. It's un-American. And this is what I think we all need to be fierce and advocate for and vocal and fight back on.
Karen Spilka is in the chair. We'll talk about these things in schools. Stay with us.